Alright, so I just got done reading episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and here's my thoughts on it. Now, obviously, the book is a novelization of the Phantom Menace movie, so for those of you like me who grew up watching that movie and you decided to read the book, you could probably blow through this like really, really quickly if you watch the movie. But it's not to say that the book follows the movie one to one, because there are some things that are like, added in the book that are not even seen in the movie. Like, for example, there are 3 chapters that focus on Anakin Skywalker himself. Like, the first 2 chapters focuses on him like participating in a pod race and him losing and reflecting on that. And then there was another chapter, I believe it was chapter 4, I believe, to where Anakin finds a dying Tusken Raider pretty much like lost in the desert, and how he saved that Tusken Raider until the rest of his band came by and pretty much brought him back home, which is kind of interesting how that's going to play a part in the second book. But otherwise, just like most Star Wars media, especially the novelizations, they literally go into more detail when it comes to the book than they ever did with the movie. Also love how they took the time in this book to like go over the backstory of both the Jedi Order and the Sith. And I also love how they took the time to like go over the Sith history and talk about how the Sith came to be and why they hate the Jedi, and throwing in a reference to Darth Bane. And what I love most is the relationship between Obi-Wan Kenobi and his master Qui-Gon, and how their differences play a part within the story and their connection with one another. Like, you have Obi-Wan, who's the headstrong, always impatient Padawan who literally gets frustrated whenever his master does things that don't really make much sense to him. And then you got Qui-Gon, who is down to earth and who focuses in the time and the present, who is also vehemently serious about living through the Force. Also, the book was being written by Terry Brooks, so if you don't know who that guy is, he's responsible for the Shannara series, which I heard nothing but good things about. I don't know much about the show, but from what I've heard of people who have heard of this man, he has written this particular series, and from what I heard, it's a really good series, so I might pick it up later on. So overall, if you're a fan of Star Wars, or if you're a fan of Terry Brooks' writing, then this will definitely get you hooked onto the series. And aside from the couple of differences between the novels and the movie, I still think that this is a good solid entry for anybody who wants to get into Star Wars. Now, whether Disney considered this novel canon or not, I don't really know. But me personally, I would probably have to go with yes, since it's based off of the original screenplay by George Lucas himself. But either way, I think this is a very solid book and definitely something I recommend for anybody if they want to get into Star Wars. And now I'm going to be jumping into the Attack of the Clones novelization. But as for the Phantom Menace, I give this one a 4 out of 5.